if you've been liking any of the content on here, just feel free to subscribe. Either way, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. So this is going to be just an update video for the channel. I'll try to do these every month or two just to show what's going on. Getting quite a bit of growth, really, quite a bit of views compared to when I first started, so that's awesome. Things are going good. So this video is just going to be kind of showing my pile of shame I have here. So this is what I'm working on of all things. This is mostly kit bashing. I do have to paint up some of these guys. A lot of these guys are the old salamanders I'm making into gore drakes, the world eaters, and I do have a few salamanders because I am retooling and getting the other salamanders that I had left. I'm kind of almost doing a twofer. I'm making some world eaters and I'm retooling my salamanders some. So I'm going to do that. I'll show you a little bit what I'm doing and a little bit of the ideas I have for these two armies, and a little bit of update on the channel as I sit here and do this. I might start throwing one of those subscribe reminders in the first, just to try to get as much subscribers and attention as I can. Like I said, I like to pump as many of these things out. Starting next week, my plan is to try to do a release of Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Two for sure are going to be battle reports. And the third one could be a battle report, it could be something like this, it could be an overview. That's pretty much the update for that. For anyone that has subscribed and anyone that is watching these videos, thank you very much, because it means a lot. I do put a lot of work into these. I'm getting a gimbal here soon, so we should be able to be a little more smooth and get videos out a little faster too with that. So I'm just going to go on to showing what I have here. Oh, as well, me and Mitten and another person here at Blushing Noise Marine, we're all going to a tournament in New Brunswick here in Sackville. It's an RTT. It's my first one outside of Truro. We've had a little one here in Truro, so I'm actually looking forward to going outside of Truro and going to my first official in-store tournament, so that should be pretty good. I'll probably having a few videos showing just a few lists that I'm thinking about doing. I'm pretty sure it says that they plan on using the data slate for January, so that should be pretty good, because I'm going to bring my custodians. I want to represent the custodians, hopefully do good with them. I'm hoping at least to get a points deduction. We'll see about the detachment rule. It'd be nice to get that protection. I would take a 6-up just to feel like you're doing something. I'm not quite sold on tanks or infantry yet. I think infantry. It's nice having the anti-tank, but usually for the custodians, my objective is to get onto the objectives, hold on to them, try to get some secondaries. And I find that when I do have more infantry, it's easier to kill their infantry and leave their anti-tank in the back than it is if I bring a tank to try to shoot at the tanks. I have less stuff to kill their infantry with. I find I win more on points. I may not table you, and I may not kill a lot of your army, but I will win on points because I have more infantry, and I'll just get more points that way. Because especially now where I don't have a lot of protection against the devastating wound, and my units cost so much, of losing a whole unit of Terminators to deadly wounds is 350 points. That's my 5 Terminators. And if I have my captain, that's another 170 points. It'd be nice if some of these other, if the Venator went down a little bit more, the Virtus Praetors, the Dreadnoughts would be fun. So I'll show you now just the things I'm kind of working on, my ideas for my gore drakes here. I'm going to show you my ideas for my gore drakes. They're just pretty much salamanders that have been fallen to corn, and so now they are slowly turning into world eaters, gore drakes. So this here is going to be my 10-man unit of berserkers. Extra, I didn't have the actual juggernaut, but I had the fella for the world eaters on juggernaut, so I did put him. So he's going to be my champion. This fella right here, he's going to be the champion of the unit. Kind of hard to see, but I got to get him painted. And then I had some extra old stern guards, since the new ones are out. These ones don't really match a lot of the Primaire stuff, so I figured I would just make these fellas, these older kind of busted up anyways, into more berserkers. And my buddy Cody DeMittens, he is the one who gave me a lot of these things. Remember, I was just finding out a whole bunch of stuff about my back. It was a pretty stressful time, so these kind of took my mind off a lot of it. Thank you once again. So these fellas I do have 5 of them all together, and so I do want to paint all of, and DeMittens is the one who painted those fellas. He does have a channel I'll throw the link on. Right now, I think a lot of his videos are how he did the comic book style for his orcs, which look amazing. So I'm going to try to attempt to copy a lot of his colors at least. Probably not the technique since I just don't have the skill for that, but I'm going to try to copy at least a lot of his colors and try to make these guys look pretty similar. Stern Kit Bash will look a little bit different, and I'll show you why as I show you the other units that I'm going to kind of turning into World Eaters and my ideas for that. So these are the Berserkers. So I do need one more, so I only have 9 of these guys all together. And these are another, I do believe these might be from Age of Sigmar. I'm not quite sure, but I do need one more to complete the 10, so I'll have 15 altogether. Alright, and then I have these fellas. I'm sorry that they're black right now, it's kind of hard to see, but as I'll kind of update you guys on how all these are going, so once they get some more color, it'll be a little easier to see. But these are also some Age of Sigmar models, I do believe, and they're just kind of like the Minotaur people. Make those into Jackals, I think they'll be great little stand-in for 10 Jackals. So I have those guys. There's not too much to say with those right now until I start getting them painted a little bit. There's not too much kit bashing to do there. I think they're going to look great as Jackals. And then I have my Terminators. These were just some 3D printed ones that I had, and kit bash these all into a bunch of Terminators. So these fellas, sorry for the squeaky chair too. I'm going to try to do something with that eventually, sooner than later. But so these fellas, I took a lot of their arms off and replaced them with some of the kind of World Eater bits and parts that Cody had given me. I have primed a bunch of them stuff, so what I've been doing is just been gluing a lot of these little spikes and bits and stuff to these Terminators. I still have to add some little tiny spikes to them and stuff, make them a little more World Eater and Gore Drake. So that's just the Terminator. So it's just a group of 5 Terminators. He has the big chain cannon gun here. Once again, I'm sorry, they're hard to see just because they're only primed, but soon, because I want to start putting these more in the channel, more of the Gore Drakes and the Salamanders. I do have a game of the Salamanders versus Custodians coming up. I do believe it's going to come up Monday. For now, I only really have the Tau painted and the Custodians. I have my buddy's Necrons here, and his Dark Angels are getting painted up. We have a few Tyranids that are painted, but right now it's trying to get these painted because I think this game's much more interesting to watch when everything's painted. So I'm trying to get these all painted for you guys. These are the Terminators. That's them. Excited to do these kit bashes because these are going to be my 8-bound. I've actually got some of the, like I said, Cody gave me a lot of the parts. He had a lot of parts from his kits that he got when he had his World Eater. So I have a lot of the arms and the weapons and such. So I did replace some of their arms with some, and their weapons with some of the World Eater weapons. So, and I got to add some more spikes and chaos. I've added some, see this guy's got, some skulls and stuff on him. I got a bunch. I don't know if you guys can see here into this, but look at all that stuff. Right? And I have a bunch of the parts from the Salamanders when I kind of had to take them apart a little bit. So yeah, I have a whole bunch of bits I'm going to add to these guys over the next coming week or so. I'll show you as it's going on. But yeah, so these guys are going to have a bunch of spikes and stuff. And then I'll kind of, as I said, in the Exalted 8-bound, I'll kind of show you because those guys are done a little more. They're not painted, but they're kind of kit bashed up a little more. So they'll kind of show the idea of what I plan on doing for them. So those are the 8-bound. I'm just going to have 2 units of 3. I could put them in a 6 if I want to, but if I put this list together, because this isn't, I'm not going to bring this to competitive games. This is just a kit bash list. This is just a game I'm going to put on the channel just for playing for fun and narrative. And so my Custodians are my competitive. So when I go to tournaments, I'll bring Custodians. But everything other than that, all my other armies are pretty much just for fun. I do have 2,000 points of World Eaters once I put all this together. I think I have a little bit more. And this is another pretty cool idea. I randomly had, because we had 2 Outriders sitting around and we just no real use for them. So this fella is going to be a World Eaters on Juggernaut. I'm going to add, because once again, I didn't have enough of the parts left over, because I do have a Lord Invocata. So either way, I had some extra parts left over. So this guy will come to be a World Eaters on Juggernaut. I get him on the same size base. I'm going to add some more KLC parts to him. But yeah, I think he'll look pretty cool once he's all painted. And then he's got a little skull on his shoulder. Hopefully you can see that. So he's got a skull. Yeah, so he's going to be the World Eaters on Juggernaut. So these are my Exalted 8-bound. I'd like to have a supplement some of this stuff with some actual real World Eater kits, just to mix it up, makes it look a little more, I don't know, thematic. Either way. So these will just be my kit bashed World Eaters. It's just aggressors. I've changed them to Exalted 8-bound weapons. I even get the little backpacks. And with these guys, I don't know if you can see here, I've added spikes. There you guys got some spikes here. So I do want to add a whole bunch of a lot of these spikes and stuff to the rest of this army. And what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to make them kind of a bone white. The spikes coming out, so they're almost like bones grow out. And then I'm going to have corn red kind of spreading from the spike onto the salamander green armor, just showing the corruption and stuff that's spreading through the army. So I think that's going to look really cool when it's done. So they'll still have a lot of these salamander colors, but they start being blended with, you know, all the blood and the stuff. So I think a lot of their hands and stuff are going to be all blood colored and stuff, just because they're covered in blood. And I think it'll look pretty cool because they're going to be, you know, from Nocturne, so they'll have the darker skin, which will be easier for me to paint since I'm not the best painter. So I think those are going to be really cool. Like, I'm quite excited to get these done. Kind of procrastinating a little bit trying to get all this other stuff and figuring out how I'm going to do the channel some. But now that I want to start putting them on the channel more and just showing off some more of these armies. And the group of people that are going here from Truro to the tournament, we want to try to get some practice games. And I've played a lot of practice games with Custodians, and until the data slate, I don't want to get an army really locked down. And I already kind of know what I'm going to use anyways, and I know how the units perform right now. So I'll kind of wait until the data slate before I get an army locked down for sure. So maybe to help my friends that are going play some World Eaters against them, I can use the Tau against them, like just to help them some more and to help me, because then I can play these armies and understand how they work and possibly how to counter some of the stuff that I'm using against my friends here. So I think that'll be pretty fun. It'll be beneficial to everyone. So yeah, these are my Exalted 8-bound. And then I'll show off my characters I have here and my other things. This is the last of it. I do have one more little surprise here. So the Master of Executions, I put a big old chain glaive on him just to show the Berserker chain glaive. He got his, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put some spikes and stuff on him, make him look more fallen to the blood god and all that. So I think he'll be pretty cool as a Master of Executions. This fella is just, I do believe he's another Age of Sigmar model. He's gonna be my Demon Prince. I got him on a base here that'll be that size. I put him on some tactical rocks, so I've got some more stuff I might add to him, or I might just kind of keep him like this because I do like this model, and I do have 3 more of these, or 3 of them all together, but I put this guy on a bigger base. So I don't know if I really want to mess with this fella at all. He's already painted and stuff, so I might not mess with him too much. Maybe his base. Maybe I'll do something with his base. But right now, he makes a pretty good Demon Prince. I'll save if maybe the World Eaters Codex will get something where I can use this base in this size model. And that way I don't have to, maybe there's a unit of 3, and now I don't have to worry about messing around with this fella and turning him back. So right now, he looks like a pretty cool Demon Prince, if you ask me. So he's my Demon Prince for my World Eaters, my Gore Drakes. And this was a Contemptor Dreadnought. I had him painted as a Custodian's Contemptor Dreadnought, but then I got a couple of the Forge World ones, and then I had a Telemon as well. I do have this Contemptor. I've added a whole bunch of stuff to him and chaos bits. Once again, he kind of looks a little, he doesn't look as good as he will when he's painted, but this will be my Hellbrute, I do believe it is. Like I said, this is my fun army. This is what I just, when I want to play Blood for the Blood God, Skull for the Skull Thrones. I think that'll be what I'll be using in there, just for something fun. And this is my Angron proxy. I just don't have the money to get a Angron right now, but this fella looks pretty cool, and these are old salamanders, the Gore Drakes and stuff, so this guy does kind of work. He is my Angron. And there we go, his face, kind of hard to see there, so angry. But this is my Dragon, I guess, so I use my Angron proxy. I always play just him as my fun army. I don't bring him to competitive or anything, so I don't have to worry about too much. My friends here might play. No one's ever said, hey, can you please not use him? He's not Angron, because he's a pretty big model. He's about the same. He may not have the big wings, but these stick out quite far, and he's about the same height. And I put them on the same base, of course. This is my Angron. So that's pretty much my Gore Drakes all together, about a little over 2,000 points. I have to get a lot of them painted, as you can see, and finish kit bashing them a little bit. I'm quite excited for these fellas, and to show them off to you when they're done. I'll go over my salamanders here. There's not as many of them, so it won't be too long. This is my I won't show you the whole salamanders list. You'll see a lot of it in the next battle report. It's gonna be a solo one, I'm sorry, my blood games one, but I find those I have a lot more time to show you guys the tactical side and why I'm doing things, because it's just, as you're playing with someone, you don't want to take all their time up, and I'm still trying to figure out getting that down and talking with the camera for all that. But for these solo ones, I do try to show you a little more of why I'm doing things and what stratagems I'm using and my thought process. This is just 10 Infernus Marines. I want to get 10 more. They're easier to find, so I should look around and see if I can find 10 more. But I need to get these guys painted up. They're primed. Not much to say here, just some aggressors I need to fix up. They fell down, got broke. Ajax, just going to put that different head on him and then do something with his weapon, maybe. See if I can spruce that up a little bit. And then here's a kind of a... I just randomly thought of this. I do believe these are some 3D printed models I got a hold of. They were going to be, I think, Deathwing Knights or something like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to sand off some of the heraldry and maybe somewhat find a way to, maybe I might switch their arms, slim them down a little bit. But these are going to be the Flame Guard, aka some Blade Guard, that are going to go along with Ajax. I don't think I have anything else for the Salamanders to show here. That's all. Most of my other stuff is painted, as you will see. Like I said, battle report coming out on Monday. I'm going to try to get 3 videos a week going here. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday is going to be my release schedule. So if you do like any of this content, subscribe, like, and thanks for stopping by.